Welcome, everyone. I'm so excited that you're joining us tonight or that you're listening to this recording. My name is Sharon McClellan, and I'm a family nurse practitioner by background. I used to design and implement wellness programs for corporations and individuals, and I absolutely loved what I did, but I love being a mom more. And so once my kids were born, shortly thereafter, I was able to be at home with our family and with our children. So I absolutely love what we're going to be sharing tonight. So I have been sharing this food first approach for 23 years now, and I absolutely love it. We have very simple solutions that are proven by science with the Juice Plus products that you'll hear about tonight. And so we are really excited that you chose to spend a few moments of your time with us tonight. So I'd love for you to put in the chat what having a thriving, healthy life looks like for you, your favorite emoji that would describe you having a thriving, healthy life. And we'll have a little bit of fun. Oh, I love that. Okay. So I see some fun emojis going up. Well, isn't that what we want for ourselves and for our families? So I'm going to share the screen real quick, and we're going to share a few slides with y'all. Okay, so that's what we're going to be talking about tonight, y'all, is good health and what it means for us and what it means for those that we love. So before we start talking in depth about the food first approach, you can see all those beautiful fruits and vegetables right there. I'm going to talk a little bit about some alarming statistics, and you may be well aware that the health in our country is getting more and more alarming. And here's just a few statistics that um, really got my attention. In 1950, 6% of Americans had chronic degenerative disease. Today, 60% of Americans have chronic degenerative diseases. In 1950, 1 in 2,500 kids were diagnosed with autism. Um, Today, 1 in 36 kids are diagnosed with autism. So, y'all, that's heartbreaking to me. And what we're seeing people that we love, people in our country, getting sicker and sicker, younger and younger. And I don't know about y'all, but I just want to say, not on my watch. I want to be a part of the solution to this. And, the great news is that Dr. William Sears has shared that 75% of chronic degenerative diseases can be prevented with good nutrition. And there's some other things you can do too that y'all are probably aware of, but good nutrition is really foundational for good health. The problem is the majority of us do not get the 7 to 13 servings of fresh raw fruits and vegetables every single day. We just don't. Even when we try hard, it is difficult to do to get the quantity, the quality, and the consistency every single day. So, what we know is that 90% of people in our country turn to isolated fragmented vitamins because they know they're not getting what they need. But nature really cannot be duplicated. And we know that there is no science showing that isolated fragmented vitamins do anything for your health. In fact, there's some studies showing that if you get too many isolated vitamins, it can actually do more harm than good. So I love being able to talk about our food first approach with a whole food supplement called Juice Plus. And the great thing is it's been around for 32 years. And I love tried and proven. I don't know about y'all. There's so many new things on the market all the time. But I like tried and proven, and that's what Juice Plus is. And so when you see the picture here, we're at the end of the day. So look at the beautiful rainbow that you see. How many of these did you eat today? And, for me, I mean, I had a pretty good day, I thought, but honestly, I didn't. I didn't get near all of these fruits, vegetables, and berries, except I did take my Juice Plus, and so I'm grateful for that. But you know, this is what makes us healthy, is getting that rainbow of nutrients every single day, consistently, in the top quality. And you know, I wanted to share a little bit about my story, where it began 23 years ago. I was really doing all the things I taught people to do when I was practicing, but I found myself overcommitted, exhausted, stressed, and depressed. I don't know if anybody's ever been there before, but I had a 7-year old, a 13-year old, a 15-year old. We had very busy and full life. But honestly, I was depleted and I wasn't able to do all that I wanted to do for my family. And so I love the way God often brings things into your life at the perfect time. That is when our ophthalmologist, who is also a friend from church, shared Juice Plus with us. He shared two things. Number one, it's food. So if you don't take anything away from tonight, just know that Juice Plus is food. It's not a vitamin. Secondly, he shared that there was science behind it. And that caught my attention as a nurse practitioner. And so at that point, there were 8 published studies. Now there are 48 published studies. And I love the company's investment in science. It really does set us apart. And so um, when he shared it, we were in the midst of a busy move. I didn't get started right away, but providentially, I met a new friend in Atlanta who shared Juice Plus, and I basically said, how can I get it as affordable as possible for our entire family? I knew I wanted our whole family on it, and I knew I wanted all of us to be on all of the products. So she encouraged me to sign up as a partner, since we were going to be buying a lot of Juice Plus, which I did. And she also educated me and gave me a lot of um, great literature about Juice Plus. And the more I learned, y'all, the more I had the conviction that I couldn't know about this and not share it with the people that I loved. I had a lot of people in my life who were close to me who were dealing with some pretty big health issues. And actually, 3 dear people in my life were in the midst of a health crisis. So you may have people that you're aware of, they're in the midst of health crisis right now too. So my sister was going through breast cancer and she was under 40. My best friend's husband was in a clinical trial at MD Anderson, and her sister was going through breast cancer at the time. And I thought, not only can this give them hope, but it can give them practical help. So I began sharing it as we began taking it. And I will tell you very quickly, I had more energy and better sleep. And immediately that changes your life, right? But then the longer that we were on Juice Plus, the better it got. After 8 months, 3 of the 5 of us came off of allergy medicine. My son came off of asthma medicine. My daughter came off prescription acne medicine, and my picky eater began to crave fruits and vegetables. And that is a huge mom win. That might have been the best part of the whole thing, because us moms, when our kids won't eat, you know, it makes us anxious because we know that they need their fruits and vegetables, right? So I'm really happy to say 23 years later, my young adult kids are all still on Juice Plus, and they actually are giving it to their kids. They're taking it, they're sharing it, and we've got 7 grandkids who love their Juice Plus. And so that makes me very happy. I will say, though, that I'm more passionate about this than ever because my youngest daughter has had 3 of her closest friends diagnosed with cancer, 2 of them within the last 2 weeks. And I just don't think you should be 30 and having to go to fertility doctors to get your eggs retrieved so that you can maybe have a chance of being pregnant once you're finished with your chemotherapy. I just don't think anybody should have to go through that. And so if you hear passion in what we share tonight, that's why, y'all. We care about the people in our lives, and we know the powerful difference that this can make. So I love sharing our superfood powders because really it's an old new product. It really is the same 30 fruits, vegetables, and berries, that are in the tried and proven capsules or chewables that we've had around for 32 years, the same great quality. And so, what's the cost of better health? My husband, back when we got started with Juice Plus, he said, "So, where are you taking this out of the budget? Because you're not adding it to the budget." And honestly, y'all, we put it in our grocery budget and we found things that were not building our health that we took out of our grocery budget. And then after we've been on Juice Plus for 8 months, he is saying, wow, this is not only good for our health, but also our finances because we don't have all those doctor's visits and we're off a lot of prescription medications. So it really did become much better financially. So if you look at how our products are made, I love that every aspect of our company is relationship driven. And we have relationships with farmers that we have had those relationships with for 30 years. We know their farming practices and they're excellent. Our produce is harvested when it's at the peak of vine ripeness. And that is super important, y'all, because that is when the nutrient density is at its peak. A lot of what we buy at the grocery store was pit green, so it never had the full nutrition density that you want it to have. And then the longer it's off the vine, the more nutrition is lost. So by the time we buy it, that nutrition is not near what we want it to be. So what sets Juice Plus apart? I think that you probably understand by now. Number one, it's food, a nutrition label, not a supplement label. Beyond organic, we have a third party that certifies our products. It's called NSF certification. And what that proves is that what's on the label is in the product, and what's in the product is what's on the label, nothing else. There's no herbicides, pesticides, chemicals. It's a safe product to give anyone of any age. It's also the most thoroughly researched product in the world. I'm going to share a little bit more about that. And we have healthy starts where children between 4 and 25 young adults can get Juice Plus for free. I love that. So what does the clinical research show? So I just want to tell those of you who really want to delve into the research, please get with the person that invited you and they can share the wealth of studies, and you can look at them and read them individually. So I'm going to do a quick overview of what I feel is most important. Number one, it's bioavailable. That is key. And what that means is that it's absorbed in the body when you take it. That doesn't happen necessarily with fragmented vitamins. We know when you take your Juice Plus, the levels of vitamin C, E, beta carotene go up in your bloodstream when you take it. It gets to the cells and great things begin to happen. It does support immune function, immune health. We know that people who take Juice Plus get sick less often. When they do, it's shorter and milder. It also balances the immune system, so people with autoimmune disease gets better. And I mention that because autoimmune disease is it's on the rise. It's the disease entity that is increasing the most in this season. It also reduces inflammation and oxidative stress. Those two things are at the root of all chronic degenerative diseases. So if you can reduce your inflammation and your oxidative stress, you are good to go in terms of protecting your health. We know that it also does impact positively cognitive health. That's really important to me. Both of my parents had cognitive decline in their older years, and I don't know anybody that wants to be dealing with that for themselves or their loved ones. It's a sad situation. We also know that it supports healthy skin. There's a lot of women on, and so I'm going to tell you the good news there, 39% improve micro circulation. And so your skin is getting all these nutrients, better skin density, hydration, fewer fine lines and wrinkles. So that makes us all really happy. It also supports dental health. My dentist recommends Juice Plus. Her daughter actually started Juice Plus when she was a little girl, and she is now sharing Juice Plus, which is a fun fact. It also helps support cardiovascular health, which is super important, and gut health. Gut health, we have learned 95% of our serotonin is made in the gut, and it's really called our second brain. So if you can improve your gut health, then that's another foundational way that you're improving your health. It also, when you're on the quad, we call the quad, which includes the omegas, it improves your omega index and brings it up to the optimal level. That is super important, y'all. What we know is that if your omega index is not optimal, you're at 30% greater increase of all-cause mortality. So that is really significant. So we are going to also just to let you know about the science. It is the highest quality of research. It's published in journals that are recognized to be the best by physicians, the Journal of American College of Cardiology, Journal of Pediatrics, to name a few. These are gold standard studies, which means it's the highest quality of research, randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled. So I love that we help people with one simple change, getting started on Juice Plus, and then we have a healthy community that is awesome, where you get a lot of support for the rest of your health journey and a lot of encouragement. And so I love the Healthy Starts program. Our founder, Jay Martin, really, he was the one who initiated this, and that's why they call us a company with a heart, because this enables families to get Juice Plus free. And I can't wait to introduce you to my sweet friend, Emily. And she's going to share a little bit more about the Healthy Starts and also her story. And she's going to close us out. So thank you, sweet
Awesome.
Emily.
Thank you, Miss Sharon. I was actually a product of the Healthy Starts for Families program. When I signed up for Juice Plus 10 years ago, I signed my mom up and I signed myself up as a kid because I was 21 and we wanted to try it together. Fast forward to now, as a mom, I feel like I have superpowers in my pantry because I can just pull out the gummies when my kids want a snack, fruits and veggies. I can blend up a shake, fruits and veggies, they think it's a milkshake. Or I can give them superfood juice, which they call rainbow juice, and they think they're having juice just like everyone else, but it's actually 30 fruits and veggies. My kids live these statistics, and these are the statistics we want our kids to live. Going to the doctor less, being on less over-the-counter and prescription medications. Our pediatrician doesn't really know who we are. She's always wondering where we came from because we just aren't there 100 times in flu season. And that's a big deal to us. I want all my friends to have that same experience instead of missing class, missing dance, etc. I don't have picky eaters. I don't have perfect eaters, but I can honestly say that my kids like to reach for healthier things because they flood their body with it every day. And I'm so grateful for that because it's the worst when your kids just only want to eat treats. I love that we get this nutrition even on our worst days. Like I said, we aren't perfect eaters. And the fact that my kids get it for free once they're 4 with our order is just awesome and makes it cost effective. It's such a family first company. So if you decide that you want your kid to have this for free, you also have to get into the habit of taking it. So we are going to do a quick 10-day mini reset starting next Thursday for anyone who's establishing the habit of taking their superfood, which is just drinking a blended up version of Juice Plus. We're going to hydrate, drink a ton of water, but just move our bodies every single day. It'll also give you a taste of what our community is like. We really like to cheer people on in their health goals. And in life. So it'll be a good time. Now I'm just going to share a little bit of my story because it's on my heart. And when I first started taking Juice Plus, like I said, 9.5 years ago, I didn't expect anything to happen because I thought I was already healthy. But soon after taking it daily, because I just started taking it so that my mom would take it, honest to goodness. I was like, I don't need this, but I really want my mom to have this. But after taking it daily, my acne cleared up, which was pretty awesome at 21. I stopped catching colds and coughs from the dance studio that I was teaching at. And I was also a fitness instructor, so lots of germs everywhere. And after about a year, I noticed I finally had clear muscle definition for the first time in my life. Despite many years of training, I learned I actually wasn't getting the proper micronutrition. I was only focused on my macros. So when I learned that an apple alone has over 500 minerals and vitamins in it, and an apple is one of the 30 things in Juice Plus, I knew one thing, and it was that everyone needs this. So I kept learning and I kept feeling better. I hadn't been sick in over a year. And I started sharing because it was just coming up in conversation literally all the time. So fast forward to 2019, a few years later, I used Juice Plus as my sole prenatal support. I do not believe in prenatal vitamins. I think they do more harm than good. And I wanted the most bioavailable source possible, which was real foods, not synthetic vitamins. And Juice Plus helped me conceive, carry, and deliver my daughter Audrey 5 years ago. And then a few years later, my twin boys, James and John, who you can see there with the gummies. All were born strong and healthy, and my twins didn't have to go to the NICU. There were no complications, and they were born at 37 weeks, which is incredibly rare. And I don't take that for granted because I know that that's not everybody's story. So when I wake up in the morning, I literally ask God before I start my day, who needs to hear about Juice Plus? Who needs to hear about these solutions that we have for their health or for their finances? I've held hands with friends through infertility, miscarriage, children being born with health issues, or being diagnosed with them later on. And I'm honored that this is my mission. I get to pray with them and offer them something. Even something to help them be financially supported through a crisis is just something that I've never been able to offer in any of my other jobs. I've worked at studios and I've worked corporate, including at Capital One. I've been laid off by someone who made a decision in a boardroom, and I've watched a startup vanish overnight when a founder walked away. I've lived that instability, and I've found the opposite with the Juice Plus company. It's been around for over 50 years, and our capsules are 32, and I turned 32 this year, which is pretty awesome. The 48 studies that Sharon talked about make us the most thoroughly researched nutritional product on the market in the world. So no trendy brand that pops up tomorrow can compete with that kind of legacy. The business model is not a pyramid. It's sustainable, flexible, and fair. There are no quotas, no overhead, no pressure. Just a chance to grow something real and be rewarded generously and get permanent promotions. You don't just join a team, you join a family. The woman who opened this call has prayed with me through so many seasons of my life. And now she works alongside me to help me meet my family's goals, like paying our mortgage each month. And we want to afford private school for all of our kids. When I said yes to this, I thought it might be something fun. I didn't know it would end up being a lifeline in my life's most unexpected times, whether it was a health crisis like COVID, a financial crisis like losing my job, or a spiritual crisis, which happens. This job lets me prioritize my family and be there for every moment. I don't miss a practice, I don't miss a class or a performance, and work with people who I love. We get to give ourselves a raise every month. So I think if that alone isn't enough to want to join a team, I don't know what is. It's not just a product and a partnership, it's the joy of a lifetime. So today we've just shared with you 3 new superpowers that you can use starting now. The power of plants and the superfoods, the lifeline of this mission-hearted community, and a flexible way to create income and impact. So if anything struck a chord, we invite you to take a next step, which could be as a customer, nourishing your body with the best of what nature offers, or as a partner, joining our mission to share health and hope with people in your circles. Only 2% of the world is on Juice Plus. So we actually really need people like you who care and want to serve, to share this message, because that's the only way people will understand what it is and be able to take it daily. So there's never been a better time, because if 5 people came to your mind on this call, you can actually earn $800 by the end of this month, which sounds unbelievable, but it's true. So whatever you choose, we're here for you, and we can't wait to walk alongside you. Thank you for your time today, and we'll stop the recording and take questions.